The film begins with a really exciting chase. Two criminals named Vincent and Tweed were running away from a brave police officer named Ramon Chavez. Vincent had just stolen something and was driving really fast while Ramon was chasing him. But then something really sad happened. Tweed got shot and died inside the speeding car. Vincent saw what happened to his friend and stopped the car. Then, he started shooting at Ramon, who didn't expect it. Soon after, Vincent managed to hit Ramon, but it didn't last long. Sadly, because he shot a police officer, he ended up getting caught and sent to jail. Many years passed, and Vincent's dad, Alex Barrows, got a surprising message. It told him that his son, who now goes by Victor, was in prison and his life had changed forever. Alex was shocked, especially to learn that his son had been hurt by the police. He felt really sad and decided to go visit his son, even though they hadn't been close for a long time. Alex went to California right away and followed all the rules to get into the prison. But when he saw Vincent, his son didn't seem happy to see him. They hadn't been getting along for a while, and you could feel the tension between them. But even with all the problems, Alex still loved his son very much and wanted to help him, no matter what had happened between them. Then, Alex asked Vincent how he could stay safe in prison. Suddenly, Vincent imagined a scary prison where bad things happened, but he was brave and ready to fight back against anyone, no matter how big they were. Afterward, Alex said he had a plan to get Vincent out of jail soon. But their talk got sad when Vincent started talking about Alex's family and old job. Alex was a very tough person in a special group of soldiers, but he didn't come home often. Soon after, Vincent got upset and told his dad to leave. Now, let's meet Max Chandler, a really mean and scary person. He used to work with bombs for the police in Los Angeles. Max was trying to get released from prison, but the officers said no because he did bad things in there. He hurt and even killed other prisoners. Max didn't really want to be free, though. He was actually using his time in prison to make trouble and cause chaos. He wanted to take over the whole prison. Soon after, Max surprised the police officers and started causing a lot of trouble in the prison. At that time, he set off bombs that made everything shake and break. While all the chaos was happening, Max told his friends who were secretly working with him to get rid of the officers. It became really scary and violent. At the same time, another guy named Rook took control of the place where they operated things and took over the communication systems of the prison. However, Max said he wasn't scared at all by all the crazy stuff going on around him. Then, he said he had an evil plan. He gave the people in prison a choice, and it was either they could escape or they could join him as his helpers. But the innocent visitors and guards, like Alex, were trapped and used as prisoners too. At that moment, Max was determined to hurt anyone who tried to stop him. While all the prisoners went crazy, Max was having a lot of fun causing trouble. He liked all the attention he was getting. He even made sure that the news on TV talked about the bad things he was doing. Soon after, Max made a video where he bravely threatened the government and said they had to let 6 people from his group go free. If the government didn't do what he wanted, he promised to set off more bombs in just 6 hours. In the middle of all this mess, Alex met an officer by surprise. But Alex knew right away that the officer was working for Max. So, Alex acted like he was weak and asked the officer to take him to the hospital. He was really smart and used his experience as a special forces soldier to easily defeat the officer. Then, he took away his weapons and went carefully to another room. In a different place, there were some people in charge of keeping everything safe. One of them was Inspector Chaz Coleman. Inside a prison, there were some prisoners who hadn't escaped and they decided to team up with Max. But there was another prisoner who said he would be loyal to Max, but instead, Max killed him to show everyone how powerful he was. At that time, Max wanted to scare the other prisoners and be in charge, so he told them to get weapons from a storage place. On the other hand, Vincent, who knew where the weapons were, was chosen as the leader to help the prisoners find the weapons. Outside the prison, Inspector Chaz talked to the prisoners through a big speaker. He said it wasn't easy to set Max free and that they needed more time. When Alex heard Chaz's voice, he called the police and talked to Inspector Chaz. He convinced Chaz not to do what Max wanted. But Alex kept his real identity a secret so he could help the police without Max knowing. Then, he started getting rid of Max's helpers without anyone noticing. Meanwhile, Vincent managed to open the storage place where the weapons were kept. The prisoners could choose the weapons they wanted. At first, Vincent didn't want to get a weapon, but Rook convinced him to do it. On the other hand, Max tricked Chaz by shooting at the floor and admitting that he had killed some people. Max did this to put pressure on Chaz and make him do what Max wanted. But Max didn't know that Alex used smoke bombs to surprise Max's helpers. With only a knife, Alex quickly stopped 2 of them without anyone realizing. In the control room, Max talked to Vincent. At that time, Vincent started telling Max about his past. But their chat suddenly stopped when Max's friends told him that 2 prisoners had died. Soon after, Max quickly called the police because he thought Chaz was to blame for the deaths. In response, Chaz called his friend Alex and asked him to come out, but Alex said no because Vincent was still locked up. Inside the prison, everything got really crazy. Max said he would give a lot of money, $1 million, to anyone who could get rid of Alex, who was the intruder. At the same time, Alex found all the people who were being held hostage were dead, and he felt really sad. He quickly told Chaz about what happened. Just when he was about to leave the room, another prisoner suddenly confronted Alex, and they started a big fight. Even with all that happening, Chaz made Max worried by telling him the things Alex had said. Now Max knew that the terrorists had lied to him because all the hostages had died. Even though Max was worried, his friends kept trying to catch Alex. During this time, Vincent finally met his dad. There, Alex tried to convince his son to stay away from Max and told him that all the hostages had died, which showed that Max couldn't be trusted. But Vincent chose to be on the side of the mean terrorist instead of his own dad. At that time, they had a really intense meeting and argued a lot. It ended with Vincent shooting Alex in the leg. Then, Vincent told his dad to run away while he still could, but Alex couldn't leave him behind. Alex was determined, so he took the bullet out of his leg and stopped the bleeding. Then, while Max was getting better from his injuries, he used a special walkie-talkie he took from someone to talk to Alex. They talked about stuff, and Max started to think that Alex wanted to help someone escape from prison, but he didn't know it was Vincent. Alex then called Chaz and asked about a secret plan to surprise some soldiers, and he asked Chaz to keep Vincent safe. But things didn't go as planned, and Alex had to save Vincent before the soldiers came. Even though Alex was hurt, he bravely fought and beat the rest of Max's friends using his last bullets. Later, Alex had to fight against Rook, but this time, he decided to fight with his hands instead of using a gun. It was a tough fight because Alex had a hurt leg and it was hard for him to move. But he didn't give up and took on the challenge. At that time, Rook thought Alex was weak and made fun of him, but little did he know, Alex was strong like a lion inside. Then, Alex quickly used his fingers to poke Rook in the neck. On the other hand, Chaz had a sneaky plan to trick Max into climbing onto the roof. The terrorist then told Vincent to get rid of the gun because he knew the soldiers would shoot if they saw it. But when they got to the roof, Max suddenly pointed the gun at Vincent because he thought Alex had something to do with him. Soon after, Vincent admitted that he didn't care about Alex anymore and wanted to go with Max. To see if Vincent was really on his side, Max told him to shoot, but Vincent's hands were shaking because he wasn't sure what to do. Even though Vincent hesitated, Max thought it meant he was loyal. Just as Max was getting on the helicopter, Alex showed up to take Vincent away. Without wasting any time, Max shot at Alex because Vincent couldn't leave his dad when he needed him. By shooting Max, Vincent helped Alex. Then, they made up and hugged each other while Max got hurt badly and lost a lot of blood. In the end of the film, Chaz decided not to arrest Vincent or Alex because they had stopped Max from doing bad things. The film ends. The moral lesson of this film is in the chaotic world of criminals and chaos, it's important to remember that family bonds and love can fight the evil. Even when things seem tough and relationships are strained, standing by your loved ones and doing the right thing can lead to unexpected victories. And remember, it's always better to choose laughter over guns because comedy is a blast.